What's up, guys? How you doing? Checking out "Gas 'Em Up" by Moccasin Creek. This was a request. I think I kind of know by the picture what to expect a little bit. And I was told that it's a throwback to the 80's hip hop scene. So really looking forward to this. I've been wanting to get to it for about a week and a half and haven't had the opportunity, but trying to catch up this weekend on some of the requests. So Gas 'Em Up, Moccasin Creek. The link will be down below in the description. Also going to get to their new one either late tonight or in the morning, but definitely we'll get to their new one. So here we go. Thanks for the request, and Moccasin Creek, Gas 'Em Up. Silver.
Take it back to 88. Shit. Kush by the bush got me high up in the bleachers. And push comes to shove, you ain't walking in my sneakers. Professor Boo, Jeff cool, yes, I'm the teacher. They feeding on my shit like a late night tweaker. Coming back around like that big hand. Get clocked, get dropped by the big man.
Oh, I'm gonna clock you. Coming back around like the big hand. I'm going to clock you. Punch, clock. Get out of here with this. Get out. You know who it reminds me of with the funk stuff that's going on and the bass? It's kind of a street thing. You know, they got the street vibe going on here with the dancers and everything. Hopefully they do a lot of scratching in this. But it's the Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. The Message. That's kind of what it reminds me of. And then the other one kind of is like a Dougie Fresh The Show. You know what I'm saying? That's a more party vibe, but it does kind of have a message vibe, which is the Grandmaster Flash, kind of a message thing here. But it's got like a Southern thing to it too, you know, like the terminology that he's using is kind of a Southern thing versus a more city vibe. It's dude. Donald, I think you recommended this. Bro, you nailed it, man. I am loving this, man. I am loving this. It does kind of have more of a Dougie Fresh, the show. It does kind of have a more, I don't know. There's a bunch of things that I'm thinking about right here, but you nailed this. I am loving this. What have I listened to? What? 30 seconds? This crap's going on my playlist, and I probably, after I turn this off, will go back and reminisce over a ton of 80s stuff. The vibe is just incredible. I can't believe I have not found these folks out earlier than what I did. This one's going to have me smiling the whole time, man. The whole time. It's going back. This stuff was going on in the streets, folks, when in the 80s. This was it, man.
Take it back to 88.
The clock.
Bush got me high up in the bleachers. And push comes to shove, you ain't walking in my sneakers. Professor Boo, Jeff cool, yes, I'm the teacher. They feeding on my shit like a late night tweaker. Coming back around like that big hand. Get clocked, get dropped by the big man. Yes, sir, Jeff cool got a big plan. Cut you like a hog and take your ass to the pig stand. Tell your daddy the news. Tell your mammy and your pappy that we coming for you. Make it snappy like my finger.
Right, the mammy and the pappy. See, that's more of a Southern thing, but it just the different terminology. I mean, you wouldn't you wouldn't hear someone with the city vibe. The city slang is way different than the Southern slang, if you know what I'm saying. I wasn't real pervy to the Southern. Well, I mean, yeah, yes and no. I mean, there was a time in my life where I was kind of, uh, it- it- let's see, I was about 12 when we lived in the South. So from 12 to about 15, we lived more southernly, and then we moved to Texas after that. Um, so I got a little different blend, and then we kind of moved to some cities and stuff like that. So I got another different blend of the hip hop time period, from the 80s to probably 95. That was kind of my jam. 95, it kind of wasn't as in its prime, like maybe the mid 80s. Well, early 80s was good too. Uh, Man, I've got so many favorite artists that I just adore. And I haven't listened to them in such a long time. And this song's going to make me go back and listen to a bunch of um, artists. I think I might have opened up in a couple of other reactions before with some of my favorites. I don't know. I don't remember. But, there's so many artists that this really kind of, it makes me really think of. I mean, this is kind of a combination of a lot of artists that I really loved. And they really are doing a really great job of with the city vibe, the dancers. When you were in the city, I don't know how it was in the South because we lived out in the country when I lived in the South. I really don't know the cities in the South, how the vibe was, but we lived out in the country when I lived in the South, kind of out in the Tules. If you know what that means, out in the sticks, out in the uncivilized areas. So when this was about when I was younger, so I really don't know how the cities were in the South when it came to when this music was really popping, the hip hop vibe. So I don't know how it was, but I like the way he's blending the Southern stuff with the hip hop city stuff. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. It's just making my mind kind of go bananas right now because I haven't heard something like this in such a long time. When did this come out? Hold on here. We got to bring this. Hold on. 1 month ago. 1 month ago. So this is pretty new. Excellent job of really bringing back the vintage stuff. I just saw the word there. That really sums it up there. Vintage stuff. It really is. I really, really, really relate to this, man.
Jeff McCool got a big plan. Cut you like a hog and take your ass to the pig stand. Tell your daddy the news. Tell your mammy and your pappy that we coming for you. Make it snappy like my finger, bitch, I'm gunning for you. And get the dogs ready, yep, they gonna be hunting for you.
The dogs.
All in your speaker. Cocaine flow, gas them up all ether.
We used to go hunt. I mean, look, I live in Oregon right now. People don't even understand. Some folks are going to get a little uptight with what I'm about to say here. We used to take beagles. Again, I lived out in the sticks. And this is how we lived back then. Okay, this is how we lived. There was no going to the grocery store. There was none of this bull crap going on where you just had the conveniences of the world. My mother, we had a big garden. I think we lived on about 5 acres. And we had this huge garden. My mother would can vegetables. And we would have, 50 jars, 100 jars of green beans and, corn and all the vegetables. We didn't buy it in the store because we didn't have no money for that. We had to can it. And so we canned all of our vegetables. And then for our meat, we would hunt. We would go deer hunting. that type of thing. And I know this is going to sound bad, but the dogs hunting reminds me of, we used to go rabbit hunting. We would eat rabbit. Rabbit, quail. I love quail. I haven't had quail in probably 20, well, no, maybe more than that. 30 plus years, 35 years. I kind of got cityfied, but we used to go quail hunting, and we used to take beagles out, and the brush piles, the rabbits would be in the brush piles, and we would send the beagles, not the hounds, into the brush piles. And the brush piles, we would be coming into the brush piles with our shotguns, and we would send the beagles in, and the beagles would flush out all these rabbits, and we would just boom, 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 we'd be blasting, and you get a bunch of rabbits. We would come back home with about 20, 30 rabbits, and that kind of reminds me of that. I know this is hip hop, and I know this is, I see what he's doing here in the vintage stuff, but it's got a more Southern twist to it, to me. And the stuff that he's saying, it kind of reminds me of how we lived back then in the 80s. I wish I could share my whole life with you guys right now. As time goes on, I'm sure you're going to hear about my life, but that's how it was in the 80s. You didn't go to the grocery store. You did for the spices and things of that nature. But when it comes to meats and stuff like that, I don't know why I'm discussing this on a hip hop vintage. I know what he's trying to portray here, but the stuff he's saying really brings back a lot of memories for me in my younger days. The hounds, the clock, and that's how we used to, when he was talking at the beginning where he says the clock, that's how we talked. And we would clock somebody, and back then there was no, we didn't, we weren't pulling out firearms on each other and blowing each other away. We would fist fight. That's how it was. You would settle your differences through fist fighting, and you learned how to fight really quick, especially out in the country. You learned how to fight really quick, and, you would get in basically fist brawls. And then whoever was standing, you were the victor, and, that's how it was. I don't want to get too into this crazy stuff here, but here we go. I'm going to go back just a little bit. I told you this is going to be a long one. Donald, I blame you. Because you're bringing up stuff and you're making me reminisce into my past. And so I'm blaming you, Donald. This is what you asked for. Donald.
Cocaine flow, gas them up all ether. And I can play the Grim Reaper. I take you to the tent and let you talk to the preacher. Ass pimp shit, I'm higher than a blimp, bitch. He them.
Again, this is what's the difference between this and the stuff that, like, the city vibe versus the Southern vibe. We would go to revivals. You would have a revival and you'd be under a big tent. You'd have a revival. You go to these revivals and talk. The preacher would be under this big tent, and there'd be hundreds and hundreds of people under this big tent. Right? They set up these big tents out in the middle of nowhere, and then people would just flock from miles around to go see these preachers talk, and it was hellfire and brimstone. That's how it was in the South. But nowadays, it's big churches. You got the big churches, and the revivals are really, I don't know how it is in the South right now, but the revivals used to be big. Like I said, there would be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in these tents. talking to the preacher. I'm more cityfied now, right? I'm more cityfied. So I can't believe you guys got me on this.
I can play the Grim Reaper. Take you to the tent and let you talk to the preacher. Pimp shit, I'm higher than a blimp, bitch. Heat in my pocket, same leg that I limp with. Old man River on the hook, I ain't fishing. Beat keep knocking, Mormons on a mission.
Oh my gosh. Hook, I'm fishing. I'm crying here. I'm crying on this one. Hook, I am fishing. Hold on. Mission, tent, revival, fishing, hook, rap, hip hop. Oh my gosh, man.
I can play the Grim Reaper. Take you to the tent and let you talk to the preacher. Ass pimp shit, I'm higher than a blimp, bitch. Heat in my pocket, same leg that I limp with. Old man River on the hook, I ain't fishing. Beat keep knocking, Mormons on a mission. Sweet tea twisted, I'm treated like Christmas. Old wish list, you won't ever get this. My bar stay hopping, drinks stay popping. Chrome on the wheels, Steve to the honkin'. You corny as a food plot, smoking on some moon rocks. We
Steve to the Hawkin, higher than a blimp. Half the people in this world right now don't even know what a blimp is.
Wish this, you won't ever get this. My bar stay hopping, drinks stay popping. Chrome on the wheels, Steve to the Hawkin'. You corny as a food plot, smoking on some moon rocks. Weed you out of garden, cultivating on some.
Those moon rocks were good too, man. Those moon rocks. You guys have got me reminiscing like a mother tonight.
Hawkin', you corny as a food plot, smoking on some moon rocks. Weed you out of garden, cultivating on some new crop. Looking at a new clock, hanging on the rooftop. Bitch, I'll take your soul and deliver it to the shoe shop. Spotlight seeker, all in your speaker. Cocaine flow, gas I'm up all
right,
ether.
and cocaine was big back then, man. Coke was big.
Light seeker, all in your speaker. Cocaine flow, gas I'm up all ether. And I can play the Grim Reaper. Take you to the tent and let you talk to the preacher. On some country ass pimp shit. Sir, Jeff Cool got a big plan. Sir, Jeff Cool got a big plan.
I wonder if did they do this manually or was it electronically done with the scratching? I'd be really curious to know. Yeah, I'd be really interested to know. If you guys know, put that down below. If this was really actually done manually with the hands, like in the old school, or was it done electronically, with the computers nowadays? Just let me know down below with the scratching, please.
Country ass pimp shit. Yes, sir, Jeff Cool got a big plan. Sir, Jeff Cool got a big plan. On some country ass pimp shit. Yes, sir, Jeff Cool got a big plan. Moves tight, moon walking in the moonlight. I'm too hype, too white, my paradise too right. A few nice pass like a quarterback of two nice.
Hold on.
On some country ass pimp shit. Yes, sir, Jeff Cool got a big plan. Moves tight, moon walking in the moonlight. I'm too hype, too white, my paradise too right. A few nice.
I'm too white. My paradise is.
Moves tight, moon walking in the moonlight. I'm too hype, too white, my paradise too right.
Moonwalking in the moonlight, because moonwalking, that was kind of big in, with Michael Jackson in the 80s. Moonwalking was like the stuff, right? I'm an old dude, but I can moonwalk. You know what I'm saying? I am a good dancer, by the way.
Moves tight, moon walking in the moonlight. I'm too hype, too white, my paradise too right. A few nice pass like a quarterback of too nice. I grab you by the wing, take a new flight. Ha! My grass stays greener. Skies are
grab
the
you by the wing, take a new flight. Great lyrics, man. Great lyrics.
By the wing, take a new flight. Ha! My grass stays greener. Skies are the bluest. Itch on my finger.
Ooh, my grass stays greener. Hold on. Grass. And also he's talking about money. Hold on.
My paradise too right, a few nights pass like a quarterback of too nice. I grab you by the wing, take a new flight. Ha! My grass stays greener, skies are the bluest. Itch on my finger, debate, should I pull it? Praise to the dreamers, I'm asleep through it. Paradise, I'll take
Right,
it.
he's kind of talking. I'm asleep through it. Grass, makes you sleepy. You know what I'm saying? Give me a second here. I'm almost in tears, man. This is excellent.
Debate, should I pull it? Praise to the dreamers, I'm asleep through it. Paradise, I'll take a shot, newfound bullet. Shoot you straight like an arrow, fly like sparrow. Trying to make $1 in this heat, dinero. Walking down the street, all beat when I creep. No priest, no monk, no serve, no pharaoh. High, but I'm on my grind. Hit the asphalt, baby, don't know what I find. I slash through the ash, 110 and a 50, grab a gun and some roses, hit paradise.
Hold on. Asphalt, I'm on my grind. Hold on.
Serve no pharaoh, high, but I'm on my grind. Hit the asphalt, baby, don't know what I find.
Asphalt.
I slash through the ash, 110 and a 50, grab a gun and some roses, hit Paradise City.
Yeah, to the nod, dog.
Juice. That was excellent. Man. Yeah, that one. You guys got me on that one. I can't believe I haven't reacted to them. I don't know how these guys were not on my radar. They are just excellent, and I'm speechless. I can't be. I really mean that though. I loved it. I want to look back on the description. It is very vintage, but I never really thought about the time period when, in the 80s, we moved around. My family moved around so much, and I do relate to the Southern lifestyle tremendously. But I also relate to a lot of the city lifestyle too, because we moved around so much. And in the 80s, from the 80s to the 90s, 89 is when I went into the military. But that time period, from 79 to 89, we moved around so much, and different time periods of my life, I got to experience so much the differences in people. That's why I'm so weird, because I've been influenced by so many different cultures in the United States. I really, I'm one of those, different folks, because I didn't stay in the same, arena my whole life. Like a lot of people do, a lot of people in the South, they stay in the South the whole time. A lot of people from the West Coast, they stay in the West Coast. And so they're a different type of person. I'm kind of a melting pot of the different cultures throughout the United States. And so that's why one of my favorite was the Southern area of the United States, because I just, I felt so good. It's so comfortable with those people. And I consider myself a Southerner, probably 40% Southerner, 60% West Coast guy. Love West Coast rap. I love, the hip hop scene on the West Coast was really fresh. But it is interesting though, the way he raps is the terminology that he uses is more Southern based versus, like a West Coast. Really interesting to me. as he was rapping, I was just, man, there was so many things going on in my mind. I got into a couple topics I probably shouldn't have got into there, but I'm sure you guys get a big kick out of it. But it was just, that was a phenomenal song. That one, well, some of his other ones have already won me over. He's very talented, man. He is just super talented. You know, if you guys haven't checked out some of his other stuff, if you follow me, check out some of his other stuff. This one was really good. It's going on playlist just for the vintage thing. If you guys, I want to say something here. A lot of you don't know this about me, but I had some traumatic brain injuries when I was younger. And so I basically had to learn how to speak again. So I have to do a lot of editing sometimes because when I talk, I will speak on a topic and then I will forget that I spoke on the topic because, you know, I had to relearn how to talk at one point, and you know, I'm much better now. The reaction stuff has really helped me tremendously in my life, and so I just wanted to kind of say that. I know I've had a couple comments with people. I just wanted to kind of let you know that I'm doing my best. It's not always peaches and cream, and it's not like a lot of other reactors, but I'm doing my best. And you know, I had to relearn things, and I'm still relearning things in my old age. My mind's fine. The way I communicate's a little bit different. And so I just want to kind of let you guys know that. For those of you who do not know me, you know, be patient with me. This is helping me. I hope you guys are getting a big kick out of me. I have a lot of life experiences, and this was just a pleasure to react to. This was my favorite, most fun song that I've listened to. I listened to a couple artists that this one was my favorite one. Thank you for Donald for the, pushing me in this direction. I really appreciate it. You guys have a great evening. Peace.